So what is benchmarking? Benchmarking is learning from the experience of others. This is why you do benchmarking. There are two main types of benchmarking. The first type is called informal benchmarking, and the second type is called formal benchmarking. And informal benchmarking is the most common type of benchmarking. It's something that we all do, whether we're conscious of it or not. We all try and learn from each other. We all compare our knowledge bank with the next person's knowledge bank. And if they know something that we don't, then we collect that information into our head. So we do learn from experts or our colleagues. I, for instance, learned a lot from this guy. This guy is called Dr. Robert Camp. He wrote the first book on benchmarking called The Search for Industry Best Practices that Lead to Superior Performance. But we don't just learn from experts, we can all learn from each other, from our managers, from our colleagues. We also learn by networking. This is a great event for networking. Make sure you take advantage of the breaks and ask other people at the conference, what do they do? You know, what are the good practices within their organisation? How can you help our organisation? And also you can learn from books, from journals, and now you can also learn from the internet. There's a huge amount of information on the internet, and I'll talk more about that later on. And there's even specific websites designed to assist benchmarking and business improvement. Have we got anybody here from the Singapore Science Centre? Okay, so I'm on safe ground to discuss this then. I hope I get this right. The Singapore Science Centre, a great example where they used informal benchmarking. They attended a conference and they heard a presentation from the Singapore Zoo. The Singapore Zoo had a motto that all their staff knew. So all their customer service staff who were meeting visitors to the zoo all followed a particular motto to ensure they delivered the same level of customer service. And so Singapore Science Centre heard this and they developed their own motto called Get the Gist. So all their staff try and greet people warmly, try and initiate help readily, smile cheerfully, and thank people sincerely. So they got a nice idea from attending a conference. That's a type of informal benchmarking. Now moving on to formal benchmarking. There are two types of formal benchmarking. The first type is called performance benchmarking. And this is where you're comparing your organization's performance against another for a particular performance measure. It could be for financial performance, it could be for customer complaints, it could be for safety performance, whatever's important to your organization. And so what you're doing there is finding out what is the performance gap. You're finding out where you're performing in comparison to another organization. Okay? So it identifies a performance gap. It identifies an opportunity for improvement. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't provide a solution. It doesn't tell you what you need to do to improve. And I see too many organizations spend an awful lot of time getting these performance benchmarks and do nothing with it. So unless you're going to do something with that data, unless there's some action following on from it, don't bother getting the data. But it is good data to have if you get it, as long as you follow on from that with some action. The most powerful type of benchmarking is called best practice benchmarking, because this not only looks at performance comparison, it's then trying to close the gap. It's trying to learn from those organizations that are better than you. And there are some systematic methodologies which help you to use best practice benchmarking. One of which is shown here, which is the methodology that I promote, which is called the Trade Best Practice Benchmarking Methodology. It's about trading information and knowledge to help your organization to get better. There are other methodologies. Rank Xerox have a 10-step methodology. All the methodologies are quite similar.